What is going on, everybody? Welcome to or back to Ryder's Record Collection. My name is Carl, and in this video I wanted to do a recent arrivals or recent vinyl finds. It is December 2020. It is the end of 2020, the crazy year that this was, and this will be the first recent arrivals video that I'm doing since I started my channel and took everyone on a tour of my collection. This is from the last 3 months, so this stack of wax to my right is what we'll go through real quick, and I'll show you guys what I got, and maybe you guys got some of the same stuff, and maybe you guys are gonna pick up on some albums that you haven't heard. So to kick things off, this was released earlier this month. This is the White Stripes Greatest Hits, and I was super excited for this. I honestly didn't think that Jack White would do this. I thought he was too much of a purist, but it's got a killer track listing, double LP, nice gatefold, and super excited about this. Again, this came out earlier this month. This is blues garage rock at its finest. Jack and Meg White do a hell of a job with it. This next album was a total blind buy. It's called The Sea. It is composed by Anita Kerr, written by Ron McEwen, and the San Sebastian Strings are the people that provide the music. This was in the $2 record bin, and I bought it strictly because of the cover. And it is like spoken word noir poetry set to orchestra jazz music. It's really weird. It's on the Warner Brother record label, but I like it. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I've only played it a few times and it was a blind buy, but I really enjoy it. I think it's interesting. Yeah, it's called The Sea, and then underneath it, and we made love and only the sea was watching. So this I picked up at a record store recently, and this was released in, as you know, 1966. But this is Herb Alpert presents Sergio Mendes in Brazil 66. This is a really good, fun bossa nova jazz album. It's got some vocals on it. They do a great cover of Day Tripper on it, and the vocals on it, the instrumentation, super fantastic. This next album is something that was kind of sort of on my want list for a while, and I never really thought I'd actually pull the trigger on it. There were two on Discogs, and then one of them disappeared, so I went and snagged the other copy. But this is Mindless Self-Indulgence. If it's a really tight outer sleeve for it. This is my favorite Mindless Self-Indulgence album, and they are an industrial punk, electronic punk band from New York. They're pretty weird, they're pretty funky. This is The Doors 13. This is a duplicate copy of an album that I have. I have a first press of this, but this is the 50th anniversary repress. I talked about this in another video, but the pressing that I have doesn't have this original sleeve, and it is on standard black vinyl, and this 50th anniversary repress is on a really cool blue and white variant. So I snagged that, and that'll be a duplicate because the variant sucked me in. But this I picked up in a record store a couple months ago. This was released in 1975. It is the Allman Brothers The Road Goes On Forever, a collection of their greatest hits. It is a double LP with just all of the early essential Allman Brothers band songs, all the stuff that they did when Duane Allman was alive. This album was also a blind buy, and I bought this because it's a collector's item put out by Lucky Strike. But this is Remember How Great, a 1961 compilation album of jazz and big band stuff. It's got Count Basie on here, Tommy Dorsey, Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, Cab Calloway, and like I said, it's an album of unforgettable hits, especially selected for Lucky Strike cigarettes by Columbia Production Records. This was, I think, $2 or $3, and the Overflow Jazz bin at my local record store, and the cover and the fact that it was put out by Lucky Strike made me have to get it. It's mostly 1950s jazz numbers. This next record is just simply brilliant. I bought this to replace a copy that I had in my collection that was in really good shape, but it had a scratch on the lead into side 2, so I wanted to replace it and get a better copy that played. And then I went online and found this Vinyl Me Please edition of this album for a great price, and I'll show you the variant because Vinyl Me Please did this and they put out pretty quality products. So this is the inner. It's just a little poster that it came with. And then this is the booklet that it came with. And this is the vinyl itself on that smoke screen vinyl, or whatever Vinyl Me Please called it. And next is jazz fusion, art rock, classic rock, yacht rock, I guess, but this is Steely Dan Gold. It's like part 2 of their greatest hits. I need to get the other greatest hits album. This was released in 1982. I have Asia, and I really like Asia, so this was a pretty good place for me to start getting further into Steely Dan. Like I said, they have another compilation that I'll probably end up picking up at some point, but right now this is my Steely Dan Deeper Dive album. Next up, if you continue to watch my channel, you'll see that I have a big soft spot for this guy. This is Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, Going Places. I like his albums. They're really, really good, very entertaining. This one was released in 1965, and you can find them at just about any thrift store for $1 or Goodwill, and they're a good listen. So this is one that I had a very beat up copy of. Went and dropped some stuff off at Goodwill, and every time I go, I gotta look inside, and this is a near mint copy that I got for $1. So and next up, we're gonna keep it going with the jazz with some bossa nova from Stan Getz, the king of bossa nova. This is Sweet Rain. I really like Stan Getz. He's one of my favorite jazz artists, so every time I find something by him at the record store, I pick it up because you can't really go wrong with it. So this is another chapter of the Stan Getz catalog, the Bossa Nova Man, and nice to welcome into the jazz category of the collection. I'm a big fan of the 1960s jazz. There's a little bit of the later 50s jazz that I really like, and starting to get into 70s jazz, but this Bossa Nova craze that swept America in the 60s is, I see why people were pretty crazy about it. It's very good. All right, coming up to the end, we have Sublime Secondhand Smoke. This was released in November 11th, 1997. I'm a huge fan of Sublime. I'm slowly filling out their discography. This is one album that I was missing. Nice double album, unfortunately. This copy has a pretty bad warp on one of the LPs. This is the 2016 repress. I got this copy off of Discogs, but it's still playable. Not complaining about it. I'll probably try and flatten it out at some point, but I think I've got 2 more Sublime albums to get, and then I've got their whole discography on vinyl. And then at that point, I want to do a whole Sublime video and their albums, best to worst, and things like that. Sublime's one of my favorite bands probably of all time, so that'll be a fun video for me, and getting those last 2 albums will be a small little vinyl victory list that I can cross off. And last but certainly not least is this Best of Blondie compilation album released in 1981. I am trying to expand my collection of female vocalists in my collection, and I figured Blondie would be a good place to start. This album has Heart of Glass, Tide is High, Call Me, One Way or Another, and then Rapture, and then all these other songs are very good. I've heard them. They've been, you know, it's Blondie. They're all pretty good radio staples, but it's nice to have all these hits on one album, and I will probably end up expanding my Blondie collection a little bit more. But that is my recent arrivals for, like I said, probably the past 3 months. I will probably do another video like this here pretty soon when I've got a decent stack. And like I said, slowly growing my collection to 500 records, and hope to bring you guys along as I get there. Again, my name is Carl. This is Ryder's Record Collection. If you like this video, please throw me a like. If you like my channel, please subscribe. I will put some more content out here pretty soon. I'm trying to get a little bit better on my timing and trying to get hopefully 2 videos out a month. But we'll see how that goes. But again, if you have any of these records or you have any recommendations based upon what I just showed, let me know in the comments. Love to hear from you. If you like my channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please throw me a like. And keep on playing some music. And until next time, cheers.